Friends say Annie was always the smartest girl in class, but it was her easy smile that endeared her to so many. A smile plastered on her face whenever she was near her fiancé, Jonathan Wadowski, her college sweetheart. Annie was counting down the days to their wedding, her Facebook page filled with posts about the food, the ring, the dress. It was a day the 24-year-old would never see. On Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., Annie went into the Yale lab building where she worked. A surveillance tape captured this picture of her, an important clue, because after that, Annie seemed to vanish. She didn't come home that night. Her roommate calls police.
If you see her, hear anything, please give us a call.
Okay.
Right.
The next day, police are on the case. They don't know if Annie is the victim of a crime or simply a bride who got cold feet. The search begins at the lab building where she was last seen. Inside, investigators find a series of telling clues.
She was here at like 11 o'clock. Look at all the people. How could that happen? She is a little tiny thing, but still, I mean, it's amazing. It really is. It's pretty scary. She left her pocketbook, her cell phone, everything in the lab. She didn't go home last night. Her fiance, she's getting married Sunday. Her fiance hasn't heard from her. So everybody's pretty worried.
Next, investigators start looking at surveillance tape and cameras all around the lab building. They look frame by frame at every tape from more than 70 cameras, and another clue reveals itself. In all that tape, there isn't a single image of Annie leaving. Search dogs comb over the lab. Investigators start digging through campus dumpsters. On Friday, they're back at the lab again, but this time with blueprints in hands. 100 state and federal investigators are now on the case, but there's still no sign of Annie. At the Long Island home of her fiancé, presents are piling up. The wedding is canceled, but at a flower shop, the owner remains hopeful.
Truthfully, we're all very saddened here about the whole situation. As far as knowing if she is a runaway bride, we do not know, but we're hoping that's what it is.
Meanwhile, back at Yale, investigators discover another key piece of evidence: bloody clothing stuffed into the ceiling of the lab. Sources say it doesn't appear to be Annie's.
Items that could potentially be evidence have been seized. None have yet been associated with Annie Lee.
Annie. Hi, Vanessa.
Annie's family is frightened. None of the news makes sense.
I feel lost. Don't know what happened to my niece.
Her wedding day comes and goes. And then, at 5 o'clock that night, investigators make a grisly discovery. Annie's body is stuffed deep in the wall of the basement, leaving some to speculate that whoever murdered her had intimate knowledge of the building.
She hasn't been positively identified as of this time. However, we're assuming that it is her at this time, so we are treating it as a homicide investigation. I can't give any more information on that.
I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to answer any more questions at this time.
The release will go out later.
By Monday, the Yale campus is scarred with police tape. ABC learns police did not think the murder is random. Sources say a suspect who is not a student at the university has been questioned and has failed a polygraph test. They say the suspect has what appears to be defensive wounds, scratches across his chest. Tonight, police are looking over Raymond Clark's apartment about 30 minutes from New Haven. They also hope to get DNA samples from the lab tech.
If he cooperates and we get the physical evidence from him that the search warrant allows us to take, then we will release him.
1 week after her disappearance, the mystery surrounding Annie Lee's murder deepens. For Nightline, I'm Sharon Alfonsi in New Haven.